I know all of them don't like me. I have freedom of speech. Last time
Oh, really?
I checked, freedom of speech was something we could have done. Go down by the cabinet and down the war day. Let these Venezuelans and them go with a cutlass and a knife. And let the Prime Minister come out with schematic and knock it and crack it and knock it and knock it again. As she said.
She back at it again. This is not the same video that we watched the first time. She actually come out back and make a second video. Now this video is a response to a video made by Lyndon Mack. If you want to check out Lyndon's video, and you should, go down below in the description and they're going to be down there. So let me go straight into this.
Yeah, Victor, good day. Don't mind the hole in my clothes, eh? All you know me. All is right now. I would say this story, I come to address this Lyndon Mack situation here, right? I made a video and the video wasn't intended to go viral at all. The video wasn't intended to reach that far because...
Well, surprise, bitch. It did.
However, I'm not the only person with that content. And this going to ruffle a lot of feathers here today.
Let me just dissect that. I am not the only person with this type of content. You're right. The last person who posts that type of content in jail right now. Let me get moving on, right? You say you're going to ruffle some feathers. The only feathers that actually ruffling right now is yours. Nobody on. Just yours. Good. Let me keep it.
I know all of them don't like me.
Before you make that first video, making yourself a fool, trying to threaten the Prime Minister and the entire government of Trinidad and Tobago, nobody knew who you were. Nobody had any idea who you were. So to say that people don't like you is far-fetched. Let me go.
Who cares? I like me. My kids like me. Most important. So, and God like me.
Just like a parent, sometimes you have no choice.
This guy named Lyndon Mack, why he don't go on everybody content and see what it is going on before he just selected people?
Well, he selected people because the selected people that he select made a fool out of themselves by trying to threaten the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You, as a matter of fact, went one step further. You didn't only threaten the Prime Minister, you threatened the entire government. When we clear that up, let me go again.
So, put on blast. People as single parents out there, people as mothers out there, people working. When you do this to people, you ain't think it will affect them to lose the job? You ain't think...
So the question is, right, when you made that first video that you didn't intend to go viral, didn't you know that you are a single parent? You could go viral. It might affect your job. You didn't know that. You only understood that when Lyndon Mack tried to correct you for your stupidity. All right.
I think it will affect them to certain things happen in their life. However, I'm not a victim of those stuff, right?
Okay, you're not a victim of the stuff. You just bring it up for bringing it up sake. Good to know.
So I would say this to you. You want to know my business? I'm going to tell you my business. I've never been arrested. I've never been jailed. I have no run-ins with the police. The police have no run-ins with me. I respect the law and I abide by law because I'm a law-abiding citizen. How?
Congratulations on being a member of society. You don't get a trophy for that. That's expected.
However, I have freedom of speech. Last time
Oh, really?
I checked, freedom of speech was something we could have done. Yeah.
Yes. Now let me touch on that, right? Come on. Let me switch here. Now let me touch on that. Let me talk about freedom of speech and the right to say whatever you want. Because in the last video I posted, that was the general consensus of people who were for this woman making the statements that she made. All right? They said that freedom of speech is a thing. You can't just tell people what to say and what not to say. And that is where you're wrong. Freedom of speech is a thing. But a simple Google search, and just imagine that, right? A Google search could have prevented this whole incident from happening. And let me show you what I mean. If we go right here on Google, and I type in a simple sentence, so you don't have to be a scholar to try and figure out things on Google. Thanks to AI, you could just go and ask a simple dotish question. Does freedom of speech protect hate speech inciting violence? Because that's what you do. So let me take a read here. The first line is, no. Freedom of speech does not protect hate speech that incites or constitutes a threat. Categories of unprotected speech. Let me go and read that. The first one. Let me just go and read the first one. Incitement to imminent lawless action. This refers to speech that is intended to likely provoke immediate unlawful action. A clear example is telling a mob to attack someone right now, which would not be protected. So I hope you understand what I mean. What that means is, even though you don't physically hold a knife to somebody's neck, by telling somebody else to go and hold a knife to somebody's neck and off them, you are inciting violence. And by inciting violence, that is not protected by free speech. Your free speech, gone out the door. Have no free speech when it comes to threatening people. All right? Okay.
You understand? You saying it's treason. To my understanding, as Duncy as you say is, and I'm misleading the people as Duncy as you say that, treason in my book is trying to overthrow the government. You're working with alliance to overthrow the government, and you're trying to overthrow the government. So I think I make it clearly.
No, she actually right here, right? Give she a round of applause. She actually right on this one. Unless you are actively trying to overthrow our government, that is not treason. But I think the point that Lyndon Mack was trying to make was by inciting or asking to overthrow our government, because they didn't ask to just come and off the prime minister like the previous lady. Your first video said to come and wipe out the entire government. That is what you said. So that can stipulate or be looked at as inciting to overthrow a government. So you're literally this close to committing treason. And I think that is what Lyndon Mack was trying to get to.
I am not trying to overthrow the government. I have nothing with the government. Because government when I started to work. The government have their work to do, and I have my work to do.
Again, congratulations on being an adult. That is the way that the world is work. It makes sense, right? So I talking a foreign language there.
You understand? The government, what the government does do for me. The government, I want to know if the government doing something for me, I go understand that. But at the same time, they have their work to do. Their work is to run the country, and my work is to go to work and provide for my family.
Right. Again, congratulations on being an adult. And you just say you don't understand what the government does, so the government do nothing for you. 2 seconds after you say the government just go and run the country, that is their job. You can't do that. I can't do that. And that is the job, to run the country. So your job that you go into to be able to feed your family, to pay your bills, your light bill, your water bill, your cable bill, your internet bill, to make stupid posts like this, that is only possible because the government running the country. You don't understand what government is do?
Right? All I simply say, we never side as Trinidadians with the Americans. The Prime Minister did that.
That is not what you simply say. You could have simply said that and stop. And if you had simply said that and stop, that would have been the end of the issue. Your video would not have even gone viral. But you did not do that. You did not say the citizens want no part of this, full stop. They say the citizens want no part of this. Is Kamala caused that, and the people who push the UNC cabinet, so all you come and deal with them. That is what you see. You went a little overboard, and a little more. Lyndon would have been correct. He would have been committing an act of treason.
You just want to come and try to bring politics and fight politics. I don't fight nothing, and I know you would come. You would expect me to come.
What? What? You know, everybody bringing politics and you don't fight politics. You will literally say Kamala and is the UNC who put she there, so come and deal with all of them, and you don't fight politics? Where's that then?
If you do here and cuss you and drag you and belittle myself to your standard.
Ma'am, you see, this is another part that people just get so confused about. In Trinidad, using obscene language in public is against the law. People in Trinidad tend to think that obscene language is the height of disrespect, not knowing you could degrade yourself and make a fool out of yourself even when you're not using obscene language.
I tell you something, I don't have energy for that. All I simply saying is, before you attack somebody, know what is going on before you attack them.
So you couldn't take your own advice? You couldn't understand how what you say might affect somebody, might affect you? Weird that you see now.
Right? Nobody here, I never dishonor the Prime Minister. I never curse the Prime Minister.
Again, you see the point I try to make, right? She said she never dishonored the Prime Minister, she never cursed the Prime Minister. To Trini people, cursing and obscenities is the height of disrespect. They think that if you don't curse somebody, you could say what you want, you could do what you want, you're not being disrespectful. And again, point in case, because if you listen a little longer, you'll hear exactly how she repeat herself and put herself back in the same position, ascending threats again.
I never did anything like that. All I simply said is, it have about the cabinet is made up of 34 people, right? I want to be right, I could be wrong. 34 to 35. I could be right, I could be wrong. Understand? If one is to done, let me say, if again, war is to done, go down by the cabinet and down the war day. Let these Venezuelans and them go with a cutlass and a knife, and let the Prime Minister come out with schematic and knock it and crack it and knock it and knock it again. As she said, I just quote and quote after quotes. And let the Venezuelan come with a knife and them come out with a pitchfork and a knife and let them trash it out there to bring the civilians into it. That is all I simply said.
That is all I simply said, innit? All I said is, will you bring all the knife and all the cutlass, and I will direct all you to go by the parliament and all you battle it out, all you deal with that. Right? One of the major takeaways from this video, because I'll stop in here, I'm not going further. She said, because she was addressing Lyndon Mac, what you're doing, putting her on blast, jeopardizing her as a single parent. I watched this video. And I watched that part about 5 times because that was my biggest concern. Now, I am a man and I have no children. Any right-minded, intelligent, thinking adult would ask themselves, if I am a single parent, is my ego and my pride worth more than being there for my children? If what happened to the First Lady happens to this young lady as a single parent, what would happen to her children? She not thinking about that. You already make a mistake the first time. You could call it a mistake. We will call it a mistake, right? I will give you that one. And your response is to double down. The same things that you mentioned, you ever sit down and actually think about it, or the words just coming out of your mouth? Think about if you actually get arrested. And I don't want that for you. People saying that I asking for this. I don't want that for you. If you were to be held accountable for your actions and you had to go in jail as a single parent, you don't think about what's going to happen to your children? Is your ego and your need to be right so much more important? What I am telling you is to ask your own self, is it worth it? Is doubling down on the stance that you have, that you see cause one woman to get arrested already, worth risking going to jail as a single parent? You didn't think that far? You made 2 videos so far, right? You come back now with a second video to double down? You so caught up in the need to have your ego appeased. You're saying you're not going to bring yourself low and degrade yourself. Ma'am, you do that by making the second video and not apologizing. For the sake of peace and for the sake of yours and your children's peace of mind and safety, to ensure that you don't go in jail and leave your children to suffer the consequences of your actions. You couldn't admit and say, hey, I make a mistake. You couldn't be a big person. You couldn't put your ego down and say, hey, I make a mistake. I'm sorry. Just for the safety and security of you and your children, you're not thinking about that at all right now? That's real sad, you know. This video was to ask you if this is the direction you really want to head in with this. When you have so much things at stake, and worse come to worse, if you end up in jail for 3 or 4 months, what's going to happen to your children? And understand, this is not coming from a place of animosity. This is coming from a place of asking you to snap back to reality. This is not an Eminem song, so don't expect the rest of the words. Please, please, stop. Stop now. Done it. Alright? Let Lyndon Mac say what he want to say. Let Ian Allen say what he want to say. the only thing that should come out of your mouth on a video again is an apology. You have more important things to study about than this kind of bullshit that's going on here right now. Before I end this video, I just want to thank everybody who watched the last video, everybody who liked, commented, and especially subscribed. That single video was able to push the channel over 300 subs, and I can't thank everybody enough for that. So I hope that everybody enjoyed this video also, and if you like it, don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment, drop in your thoughts down below. Tell me if my stance wrong again. I don't know. I could be wrong again. Again, this is not to prove wrong or right. This is just to understand the reality. What you're doing here is jeopardizing a whole lot more than your ego. For them, for those reviews, it's Jeremy, and I'll see everybody in the next one later.